Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I have a very exciting deck profile for you to get ready for Nationals, get ready for that EX5 format. This is Marcus Vaccine, the yellow deck that takes advantage of the Marcus engine and the yellow Vaccine engine. This deck, I won't lie to you, you guys know I'm not going to Nationals anymore, but this was one of the three decks I was going to take to Nationals. I had not made my decision yet, but I knew that this was one of the three decks that I was going to take. Because this deck is very good into the entire meta, like the whole meta, every single deck in the meta, it's really good into. And like it can slow your opponent down. You don't necessarily get blown out by certain unfair decks in the format. You just kind of go to town with them, you take the game at your own pace, and you whittle them down and you just beat them through attrition. This deck is very good. If you want my opinion, if you can play this deck perfectly, then you play this deck. If you don't, or you're afraid of Mervamon Anubis or whatever, there are tech cards you can play to better that matchup for you. Me, I'm comfortable with that matchup. I don't care. I don't care what you're playing against me. It doesn't matter with this deck. But like, if you're uncomfortable with that matchup because it is the best deck of the format, there are some tech cards that you can throw in the deck to make your life a little bit easier. But with that out of the way, I'm going to show you guys the deck, why I like it so much, and you let me know in the comments section, of course, what you think. And like and subscribe, as always. I play 5 eggs. I don't usually often play 5 eggs in my deck, but this deck really needs that 5th egg. So the first egg was Tokomon. A fun story. I was playing 4 Koromon first, because I play a lot of Agumons. I was doing that. But then I'm like, okay, 4 and a Tokomon is fine. But then I realized that Tokomon is just so much more valuable than just being able to, you know, evolve an Agumon and not passive return, you know what I mean? So Tokomon, because when you heal, you draw, is really good. And Koromon, literally, because he's a Koromon, I guess he does do minus like 1,000 or something that comes up. But really, he's just there for the name and the 5th egg. Tokomon is your egg for sure. And ideally, you want to have a turn 1 Tokomon onto a turn 1 Patamon. Patamon is your superstar rookie of this deck. At the start of your main phase, you peek at your security, you can evolve into level 4 Vaccine for free, and then you place a card from your hand to the bottom of security. Really good card. Or not any card per se, you know what I mean, but it's fine. It has to be a level Vaccine. And then when you heal, Inheritable Gain Memory. It's just a very good card. It lets you use your security as a toolbox, lets you know what's in there, and gives you a free skip to level 4. Actually, more than free, because you're probably getting memory from it. So it's a really, really powerful rookie, for sure. Speaking of powerful rookies, though, we do play 4 copies of the Agumon that came out in EX4. This Agumon starter main phase gains you memory if you have a red or yellow tamer, which you will, and then your turn 1 to return Inheritable, you draw a card if a tamer comes suspended. So it gives you more draw power, which is really good. Now, it evolves for 1 normally, right? If you evolve this Agumon on Tokomon, it will cost 1. It might pass over the turn. But if you evolve on Koromon, it can be for 0. So that is very important that you don't forget. It's a very, 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 very important thing that you need to make sure you don't forget. And then, to wrap up the rookie lineup, 2 copies of this Agumon BT13. This is the one that turns one of your Marcuses into a main effect that just promote itself and start swinging. That's what it's there for. It's also got an Inheritable that blows up at 3,000 or less when you suspend a tamer. That's cool, but he's really there as a surprise win button. I like to hold these in my hand and never play them until they're dead. Because I play it and then a Marcus swings for a game. That's how I use that card. It's really powerful. Alright, now, this deck used to be a lot stronger before the ban list came out and hit the Geogramon, but we live in times where we got to adapt to that. So we're playing 4 copies of this Geogramon. The one that plays a Marcus for free if you don't have one from your hand. You know, originally the strategy was you promote your Patamon, right? And then your Patamon turns into this, and then you play Marcus from security. It's kind of the same thing, except it plays it from hand. It's the same thing, except for that. Yes, it's obviously less good, but it's good enough to what we need it for. And then, once it's done its job, then your Geogramons are just vanillas, and that's fine, not a big deal. Its Inheritable does do 2,000 damage or something, though, when you suspend a tamer. That's not too terrible, and that can add up sometimes. Then, by the way, I play the Geogramons because it evolves for 2 on an Agumon. It evolves for 3 anywhere else, unless it's for free on a Patamon. Just so you know, that those numbers actually matter. Now, 2 copies of Andromon. I was playing this card at 3, as well as Geogramon at 3. I swapped it to 4 to 2 because I realized that playing that Marcus for free from hand is actually a super huge play and gives you a lot of value. Andromon's a really cool card, but only really good if you're scared of virus decks. I'll give you an example. Some of the Anubis River cards are indeed viruses, so when this card attacks, you can talk them into security by deleting itself. And by the way, when he deletes himself, you hatch an egg and you whatever, add into security is really good. Whatever. Okay. Besides that, if you're playing against something like Machine Dramon, well, this is a buy. This makes Machine Dramon a buy, right? It just eliminates that Machine Dramon. It says bye, see you later. It's also really good against D-Brigade, assuming that, they don't have full combo and multiple D-Brigades on board or whatever like that. So the card's actually just really good. However, I felt that I needed not as much use from it as other things like GeoGreymon. So I cut it to 2, and I don't regret it. I think you can play 3. I think you have an argument for 3. I think it would work fine as 3. But I'd rather have the 4th GeoGreymon because I want to see it just so I can play Marcus for free. That's really what it comes down to. Then I'm playing 2 copies of Zephyrmon. Now, I stole this one right from Japan. I'm going to be real. I have not come up with this concept. This one I just yoinked from their meta. You play Zephyrmon because it can evolve on a hybrid, I'll train for 2, and just hybrid for game, whatever. But you can also just evolve on a rookie, on a champion, sorry, for 1, if you need to dig. Digging's important. So Zephyrmon does give you that ability, which Cosmon does not do. So that's why we play 2 Zephyrmons. Again, you don't need the hybrids for game so much because you do play that Agumon to make the Marcuses go for game, but Zephyrmon as a surprise win button also doesn't hurt once in a while. Then we're on 1 copy of the limited GeoGreymon that grabs a Tamer from security when you evolve it, because he's at 1. And then 1 copy of Rapidmon. This is another card that I've been iffy on the ratios with. Rapidmon is a very good card. It can really help out your Anubis River matchup. When you evolve it, by the way, it always evolves for 4, or for free on a Patamon from security. But when you evolve it, you suspend 1 opponent's Digimon for each Tamer you have, then 3 things at minus 5,000. It can suspend a really annoying board of retaliation blockers, and lets you do things with it. That's a really good card. Again, I felt that I know the matchup so well that I don't really need the extra help against it, but like the Rapidmon is one of those cards that you can play against Anubis Merva in multiple copies if you are hating your life against that deck. So I'll just figure it out, do what you want to do with it, not a big deal. On to the ultimates. We do officially live in the hand trap era. We're playing 4 copies of Magna Andromon Ace. Now this card will be used as a hand trap in this deck, because you might just have a level 4 yellow chilling on the field. You might. So if they attack, you can evolve into it for free. Either way, when you evolve into it, or play it, you heal 1 and then you pop something 1000 DP, or you do 1000 DP with something for every security you have. It's a very powerful hand trap. It does 2 things. It heals and it weakens, or blows something up. And then it just, the overflow kind of is important. Like it sucks, but I find that the value this card gives you makes it so worth it as a 4. I can't say that for every hand trap in the game right now. So anyway, we have the 4 copies of that. Then our other ultimate we're playing are 3 copies of Rise Greymon. This is just the one that plays a Marcus from your hand. That's it. No other restrictions besides that, just gotta evolve it. Sometimes you have Marcuses in your hand. Sometimes you'll have this and you can play it for free. That's why he's there. Very good card. Also has an inheritable that if your Marcus dies, also all turns if your Marcus dies, it goes to security once per turn. That's fine. It's pretty cool. Alright, on to Megas. This next card is one of the reasons why I want to play this deck at Nationals, why I was seriously considering this deck. The 4 copies of Venusmon. Venusmon, I've been saying it for a while, is one of the best Digimon in the Digimon TCG. Venusmon is ridiculously powerful. That when Digivolving, give everything minus security effect is really powerful, and then they can't activate their when Digivolving or attacking effects, also can't attack it. If they have a security attack modifier, it's just really powerful. That also impacts other decks as well that just naturally give things more security, like the Greymon decks, for instance. So this card is very powerful. Now, fair note, Anubismon can kind of work around it, because it's a when Digivolving main once per turn. When Digivolving or main, I should say. And it's a you may. So you don't have to activate when Digivolving effect, but you can evolve into Anubismon and activate the main effect. Now, it's a little bit harder for them to do that, because the whole point of the strategy is that you evolve into it and immediately play the Merva, because your turn passes over when you do evolve into Anubismon, because it costs 4 to evolve, and then they play Merva, and then they play more bodies, whatever. That little luxury the deck has is turned off by Venusmon. They can't just do that. They would have to have an Anubismon in the back to do that and promote it, or something, or have the memory to evolve into Anubismon without passing over turn. Then they can do that. But otherwise, Venusmon will stop them in their tracks. It also stops other Windage Evolving things, like the Blue Marimon, Lady Devimon they play, or whatever else. Pretty cool stuff, if you ask me. Oh, and by the way, some people play Maycrack mode for the Windage Evolving Pop Floodgates or whatever. Not really a big issue in this deck, because we've opted the no Floodgate route besides Venusmon, because Venusmon is just really, really good. But Venusmon just says F you to the meta, and you'll love to see it. Lastly, 2 copies of Ruin Mode. 2, because turning Venusmon into a Ruin Mode is just adding salt to the wound, adding insult to injury. It's a very powerful top-end boss monster that your opponent wasn't playing the game when you Venusmon them, and now they're really not playing the game after you Ruin Mode them again. It's just really annoying for your opponent to deal with, and Ruin Mode gives you so much value in this deck when it attacks and evolves and it deletes itself and then it heals and then global minus 5,000 everything, and the card's just really, 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 really good. Yeah, I was playing Death Exmon, but again, I'll cut it for other cards. Death Exmon is another card you can play if you really hate your time against Anubismon Merva. If you are, you played more Death X's. If not, then you're fine. Alright, on the Tamers. For the Marcus Tamers, playing 3 copies of Memory Tamer Marcus. This one, when you play it, when it gets suspended, when you play it, you can't suspend it, and then when you suspend this card, you do something 3,000 damage. If you're all going to Greymon, you get memory. It's really cool. It's also all turns. So like, if they're at 0 and you have like a Geo Greymon on the field and they attack, security, hit a Marcus, well, their turn's over. And that feels really bad. But that never really happens, so that's fine. Marcus is a good value tamer. His memory pops something, and is repeatable thanks to Agumon, the BT13 one. Then the 2 copies of this Marcus. Did you know that we're not playing Shine Greymon like a regular Shine Greymon deck, but we're still playing this Marcus? Well, start the main phase, you can promote it to, make it a Digimon. You play memory to do that. You have to have a Geo Greymon or Agumon on board, or Shine Greymon Ruin Mode. That's fine. Or Rise Greymon, I guess. That's fine too. But then when you swing, you can evolve into a Greymon card for free. Did you know that you can evolve Venusmon into Ruin Mode for free with Marcus? It's disgusting! But you can do that. It's come up. Yeah, this Marcus is really good. It also gives you extra winning for game ability. So he's a good card. Got nothing else out of that. Now, on the non-Marcus Tamers, we're playing 4 copies of the BT14 TK. When you play it, pick up the top card is secured, or you can add the top card security to your hand, and you can place 1 back face down, which is really cool. And then your turn, you can heal 1 you gain memory by suspending that Tamer when you heal 1. Did I word that wrong? When you heal, you suspend the Tamer, gain memory. Your turn. So basically, it's a 2-cost Tamer when you play, which is really good, and then it gets you memory every turn, which is really nice. And then finally, 3 copies of Memory Tamer TK. Again, your whole deck is a toolbox that you want to have access to. It's another reason why we don't really play Death Exmon, because TK can grab Death Exmon, but doesn't heal from your deck if you do. TK will grab whatever card you want and then heal you, which is really good. Now, lastly are the options. There's 5 cards left in the deck. We play 4 copies of HPD for yellow. Emissary of Hope. This card is not so bananas crazy. Again, I was going to play this deck at Nationals, probably, because this deck has a lot of unfair cards. Emissary is one of them. When you play it, search to security stack, evolve up to level 6 Vaccine for free. And then if you have TK on board, which you will, you recover 1. And then you heal 1. It's just really good. And then Emissary of Hope, its security effect, it just gives you a Patamon for free, and then goes to your hand. Like, the card is just nuts. It's just really freaking good. Why is HPD at 1 this card legal? I don't really know, but I'll take it. I love yellow. I'll take it. Then the last card is Reinforced Memory Boost. Just 1 copy because it's at 1, and we can't play any more than that. That's it for the deck profile. That's our Marcus Vaccine deck. Let me tell you, this deck is really good, and it feels really good to play, and I have nothing else to add to that. Definitely consider it for Nationals. You probably will see it at Nationals, so just make sure you know how to play testing against it as well. And yeah, that's all I got, guys. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.